So on the new sokan. Good afternoon. Ainji kah o uye niji duye.
Ainji tiar uye che.
Kanashish niji duye.
ING Jaden Chen.
Kanashish niji duye.
ING Jordan VHF.
Kanashish niji duye.
ING J VH.
Kanashish niji duye.
ING triple VH.
Kanashish niji duye.
ING Nick VH.
Kanashish niji duye.
Ainji Maya uye che.
Kanashish niji duye.
ING Jacob VH.
Kanashish Jacob. On the new introduction to phonology kwiche. Today's introduction to phonology, we are going to be using Fred the Head. And the first part that we're going to be going over is just places of articulation. When you articulate something, that means, what is it when you articulate something? Okay, articulating something is when you announce it, right? So we're going to start with some basic vocabulary. Can anybody tell me what bilabial means? Anybody have any guesses? Well, I'll tell you this, it's biology. And on your Fred the Head, you are going to take your pencil and you are going to do a little thing like this. And you're going to point to both the lips. Bilabial means two of them. And if you're using two of them, that's bilabial. Now, you need this. Bilabial means bi. Anybody can you tell me what bi means? Two. Okay. Labial. Can anybody tell me what labials are? Lips. So two lips. AKA bilabial. Show up?
Sure.
Over here, we have what I call the Southern Shawnee noun alphabet. And we're going to start with the first bilabial sound. I can get this video to work. There we go. Tutchone, everybody, I want you to say mun. Mun.
Man.
Mun.
Man.
What letter is that and what sound is that you're creating? Yeah, it's an M. What part or where are you articulating that sound from? Your lips. Okay, so it's bilabial. One more time, Tutchone, say mun.
Man.
Okay, the next word that we have there is mbet. 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 Now that's an MB sound. So it's an M sound, so it's labial, plus a stop. So it's an M and a B together. It's written with two letters, danke, kagwancho, shachi sound. But it's just one sound altogether. Showa?
Sure.
So this whole category here, this whole chalked line right here, from here, these are all the sounds in danke that have bilabial places of articulation. Showa?
Sure.
Show them. Okay. Hakanke, back to Fred the Head. The next word we have is dental. Can anybody guess what dental is? Teeth. And on my Fred the Head, on yours it looks like vampire teeth. It's all sharp. I just want you to circle it and label it dental. Dental means that what it is that you are using to articulate the sound is using your teeth. Now I'm going to just erase where I circle this. And I'm going to draw the tongue, because that's what you're going to end up using. That's this piece here. When you make these dental sounds, your tongue kind of comes in like this, in between your teeth. And so we're going to go through a series of dental sounds, and you're going to feel where your tongue is touching your teeth. So, let's start with this one. Tutchone, everybody say toe. So. It's actually a T followed by a TH, but it's all one sound. Tutchone, one more time, say so.
So.
Now say mading. Madzing. Madzing. Okay, now I want you to say ah. 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 With this one, it's really obvious where your tongue's pressing against. One more time, say ah. Okay, now say saw. Saw. Okay, though. Though. Okay, so this whole row here, or this whole column here, are all dental sounds. Showa? Okay. We are going to go back to Fred the Head. The next one is alveolar. It's a fun word to say, alveolar. I want you to take your tongue and put it right on your teeth, and then I want you to drag it back in your mouth. I literally want you to do that. And you should feel this weird little ridge right here. As you drag from your teeth all the way back, you'll feel this little ridge right here. That's called your alveolar ridge. It is kind of like where the roots of your teeth merge into the hard palate of your skull. So it's like this section right here. That's why you got teeth and then you got kind of like this pink fleshy color here. Because that's your alveolar ridge. So now I want you to draw another one and kind of label that. Alveolar ridge. In yours, your Fred the Head, it's got a harder bone in there instead of just one. And it's right there. That's your alveolar ridge. Now, you have your alveolar and your post-alveolar. So at the very front of your mouth right here, where your gums kind of first meet your teeth, that's your alveolar ridge. But then just ever so slightly behind that, that's post-alveolar. And I've got a series of heavy consonants here, danke, that represent that. We start over here with the very front of your alveolar ridge, moving towards post-alveolar. But this is all pretty much in the same spot in your mouth that all these different sounds are made. So we're going to go through the first row. Dohan, I want you to say Tessagia. 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 All right. Donna. 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 Anai. 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 Okay. Now this next series has something all in common. Can anybody just looking at this, tell me what it is that these all have in common?
The L sound.
Okay, they all have the L sound except for this part here. That's different. And this is called the L series as well. It means it's lateral. So you're going to put a T and an L together. If ever it sounds like somebody's saying CL in Southern Tutchone, it's not a CL. I'll guarantee you. It's a TL. Dohan, everyone, I want you to say Cloa. 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 Dlua. 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 Okay. We have no GL in Southern Tutchone either. So if ever you hear something that sounds like GL, a lot of people think that this sounds like glue, but it's a DL sound. One more time, Dohan, say glua. Okay. Now I want you to say L. 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 Okay. Now I want you to say Hlu. 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 Okay. Now la la la. La la la. La la la. Okay. So all of these are made in the exact same spot in your mouth, the sounds. Showa? Okay, now we're going to move slightly further back to the post-alveolar area. Dohan, I want you to say sa. 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 Zana. 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 Tsal. 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 Sata. 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 Zil. 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 Okay. So if you can see how I've done this, it's all kind of clumped together here because all these sounds are kind of made in the same spot. Now we're going to go down to these two. These two are slightly different than the other ones. Dejuan, I want you to say Nambaya. Nambaya. This is actually a nasal. It's made in the same spot in the alveolar ridge. You should feel your tongue right behind your teeth. One more time, Dejuan, say Nambaya. Now I want you to say Kandai. 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 Now this is a really interesting one. A lot of people either hear only the N or the D. They don't often hear it as an N and a D together, but that's actually what it is. It's not a full N and it's not a full D. One more time, Dejuan, say Kanai. Kanai. Shotan. So now we're going to move on to the next place of articulation. And once again, I'm going to get you to drag your tongue from just behind your teeth all the way back almost as far as you can. And you'll feel that your mouth does this weird doming effect in the middle of your top part, and it's really hard. You can almost feel little ridges in there. That's called your palatal roof. And basically there's a bone, kind of like structure, that separates your nasal cavity from your mouth. And the reason why I'm going over this, if you're all wondering why I'm doing biology with you, is because sometimes people have a hard time pronouncing all the different sounds in Southern Tutchone. And so going through a visual aid of all the different sounds, along with actively making the sounds, it helps improve people's pronunciation. Shoa? Shotan. So this area here, I want you to label it palatal. Shoa? And it's a very interesting situation in a lot of Athabascan languages. Some languages shift and become palatalized that weren't normally palatalized historically, but that's a whole nother lesson. So that top of the ridge area inside your mouth is your palate. So we're going to go through some of these sounds. Dejuan, I want you to say chaddawa, chaddawa, chaddawa. Where you're making that ch sound, you'll notice your tongue's touching your palatal ridge. Dejuan, I want you to say G, G, G. Okay. Two, two, two. Sha, sha, sha. Azingja, azingja. Azingja. Okay. These are all of your palatal sounds. Shoa? Okay. So now we're going to move over to the next part, which is really interesting. You notice on your diagram, it gets kind of squiggly right here. I want you to drag your tongue far back. Don't gag yourself, but almost as far back as you can. You'll feel the top of your mouth go from hard to soft all of a sudden. I'm sure most of you may have never even felt that before inside your own mouth. But that's called your velum. That's what it's literally called. But any kind of sound that happens there is called a velar sound. So what happens when you make these sounds is your tongue kind of gets fat at the back and it pushes up against there like that. And it gets fat and wide at the back of your throat and it pushes right up against that soft velum. So those are called velar sounds. So we're gonna try practicing some of them. Got a really common one, the common K. Dejuan, say ku, ku, ku. Okay. Guyat, guyat. Guyat. Okay, now this is a little bit different. Aiglia. Aiglia. Aignia. Okay, when you do that one, it's really obvious that you're pushing your tongue up against your velum. Now this one's often really hard for a lot of people who are just starting to learn Southern Tutchone. And it's because you're pushing the back of your tongue against your velum, but you're not quite touching it. Dechon go cha, cha, cha. Okay. Now I want you to say nagaya, nagaya, nagaya. Okay. That KH and GH are often really difficult sounds that people have to practice to really get. This next series is actually made in the exact same spot, but what do you notice all of these have in common? Okay, they all have a W. How do you make a W sound in English? With your lips. That's right. So this sound is exactly the same as this sound, except you round your lips. I want everyone to say ku, ku, Kwanlin. Kwanlin show. Okay. Guyot. Guanka. Guanka. Aignia. Quants. Cha. Shahwa. That's like every student's favorite word to say. Shahwa. You always hear kids say that when they're like pretending to do like ninja stuff. They're like, hwa. Well, that's exactly what that sound is. One more time, Dokhan, say shahwa. Okay. Now I want you to say aguan. Aguan. Now, all of the words that we've actually been saying up till now have all been nouns, which are person, places, or things. This one is actually a verb, and it means to growl. So it's saying she or he is growling. One more time, Dokhan, say aguan. And this is actually kind of interesting. This is actually a sentence when you put these two together. If you said nagaya aguan, what do you think you would be saying? Okay, the Wolverine is growling. One more time, Dokhan, I want all of you to try to say this. Nagaya aguan. Nagaya aguan. Okay, shotan. So now we've gone. Oh, did I get you guys to label that? I don't think I did.
No.
So what I want you to do is on your soft palette there, I want you to label it your Vealer sounds. Okay? So label that Vealer. Done. Now we're getting down to here. Does anybody know what this is? Which one of these does food go down and which one of these does air go down?
Air goes down the left one.
Yes. Food, it says mutt, goes down here. So that's where your food goes down. If you have mutt going down here, you're going to choke. So you want your food to go down here. These two things, it actually represents a circular bit of muscles in your throat. It's circular because it's going down this way, and you can contract it and open it at will, and you do it like millions of times a day. Every time you speak, you're moving it, and it's right in the middle, because your voice box is down here, and this little bit here that's represented by these two little triangles is actually your glottis. It's like what controls airflow. Dokhan, everybody, I want you to say, uh-oh. Uh-oh. You just actually opened and closed it twice in those two words. Uh-oh. You notice how your voice kind of pops out? That's because you're controlling the airflow just in that area, without any other place of articulation being activated. So whenever you cause air to go through or not go through using this area, that's your glottis being used. And oftentimes it's represented by this little symbol. Everyone, I want you to say snowshoes. Ah. 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 Now I want you to say fog. Er. If you say it a bunch of times, it sounds like you're barking like a seal. At least one of you found it funny. Anyways, that's when you close the air off before you emit anything. If I were to say a foggy area, I would say qua-er. Don't say qua-er. Qua-er. Okay. That's when you have a glottal just before a vowel. And when you have nothing impacting you, it's just a plain H. Like in hakal. 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 Okay, so that means the airflow is completely uninterrupted as you're breathing out. But if you interrupt it, like in ah, that's your glottis causing a constriction and not letting the air go through. Showa? Shotan. So that is it for places of articulation.